a micro be a student also.
Morning everyone. How are you all? I'm also fine by the grace of Almighty Allah. Today I'm here just for taking a class to you, and the topic of this class is the Victorian period. Okay. At the very first part of my lecture, I would like to introduce myself. This is Aitison here. I have completed my BA Honours in English from this university, the name from Hamza University, Bangladesh, and now I am doing MA in ELT from this university. Here I have shown you the class outline. That means by this outline I will conduct the class meeting. And at the very first of my class, you will find introduction to Victorian period. Do you have any idea about Victorian period? No. Can anyone say what is the timeline of Victorian period?
Yes. 1832 to 1961.
Good. Yes. Back in days. Then I will discuss on the important facts of Victorian period. Okay. Then, literary features of Victorian period. At the last part, we must writers and their major works of the Victorian period. To develop my lecture, I have used the most common books of English literature. Do you have anyone? Okay, thank you. It will be very helpful to you if this book is with you. Okay. This age is named after Queen Victoria, who reigned over England from 1837 to 1901. But the fact is, the age is named before her name, but the fact is, he reigned in England from 1837 to 1901, but the time span or timeline of Victorian period is 1832 to 1901. And what can be the reason? Do you have any idea? Okay. We know there are several names as the golden age of novels. That means all of the ages have specific qualities by which we can determine the names. It may be the name of queen, name of king, or name of other political facts. And this age is named after the queen. This age is divided into two parts. Here you have seen this age is divided into two parts. The very first one is age of pre-Raphaelites, and then the age of asceticism. In the age of pre-Raphaelites, literature was based on symbolism, truthfulness, medievalism, and symbolism. Here we find the important facts about Victorian period. We must have to know the important facts of Victorian period because we are the student of literature, isn't it? We are the student of literature, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So, what is literature? Literature is a reflection of that particular society. If we don't know the fact, it may be political, it may be social, it may be economical. We cannot just justify that specific literature because literature is the representation of the particular society or particular time. If we study literature, we can know that particular society. Yes. Very first one is mechanism of railway and ships was improved. That means on the time the British or England improved in railway and ships which facilitates the business purpose. Then significant progress of made. In the previous ages or times, we find that women were confined and it seems look like materials. but nothing but in this time we find that significant development or progress of women, then social injustice to the poor. Why? Because due to the industrial development, the owner of the industries are forcing to go work or go long time work with just a simple salary. Okay, then we find that theory of evolution and concept of communism changed the traditional view of life and religion. Have you any idea of theory of evolution?
No.
Which is conflict or conflicted by the scientific theory and our religious faith. Okay? This theory is developed by Charles Darwin and you must have to know about it. Please write it in your script, that theory of evolution. You must have to search it. Science versus religion conflict, and this is occurred due to the evolution, theory of evolution. Then prohibited child labor by Children's Sweepers Act in 1848 and Factory Act in 1843. This is also a great fact. Then agriculture-based society turned into disintegrated due to the industrial development. Okay? That means we can say before Victorian period, England was based on agricultural society, not wholly but most of them. Then Reformation Act 1832. There are three Reformation Acts: 1832, 1867, and 1884. Gave the special facilities to common men and the right for voting. Before that time, the common people cannot vote, and after that period of time, the people get the chance or get the opportunity to vote on there. Okay? Now it's time to have a look on literary features of Victorian age. If you know the features, it will be very helpful to understand the Victorian literature. Now you are just doing history of English literature. Is it? Okay. But when you go to second semester or third semester, you will find specific literature which deal in specific period. And hope that when you will find the course Victorian literature, Victorian poetry, it will be very beneficial to you. Okay? It shifts from romantic imagination to reality. Okay? Now the fact is there any idea about romanticism? Or romantic period? Okay? Can anyone say what is the time duration of romantic period? Okay, 1798 to 1832. Good. Yes. And actually each and every period holds the specific quality, and the Victorian quality is romanticism, the imagination to reality. That means in romantic period there was imagination, and in Victorian period the authors or writers go to reality part, and common man to middle class. Due to the industrial development, there was increased middle class society. Okay, then attitude to nature was changed. On the romantic period, the attitude to nature was very friendly, lovely, and joyful. But in the time, it was harsh and cruel. Then, writer emphasized on truth, justice, brotherhood, peace, and stability. That means the writers are very aware to provide justice. Okay? A writer writes those things which he sees. A writer writes those things which he sees from a particular society or on this period. Then things. Okay? What is the message intended to write? Okay, the thing is isolation, loss of faith, which is the result of theory of evolution. Okay? Loss of faith is the result of theory of evolution, then despair, emancipation of women. Then, in the time, novel becomes leading literary form. But in Romanticism or in Romantic period, we find that poetry is the main or leading literary form. Okay? Clear about it?
Yes.
Okay, then in the writing we find scientific speed in writing because there was scientific development on that specific period or specific time. Then we find moral note, tone and social critique. On the time we'll find some writers who wrote their writings to criticize the or on that particular society. Okay, are you feeling boring?
No, sir.
From your class, another part, I would like to ask you some questions. Okay, do you know how is the king of jungle? Lion. Now the question is, why the lion is the king of jungle? Sorry? Is the lion the fastest animal in the jungle? Is the lion the tallest animal in the jungle? Okay, fastest animal in the jungle is cheetah. And tallest animal in the jungle is? Fattest animal in the jungle is? Okay, smartest animal in the jungle is? Now the question is, if the lion is not the smartest, tallest, fastest, or wisest, why the lion is the king of the jungle?
Because of his
He
character.
He thinks that he is a king. That's what I got.
He thinks that yes. He is that. He thinks that, or his attitude. If you have a look, you think that an elephant is coming and a lion is coming. Okay, what will happen? Okay, the elephant will run. But the elephant, if thinks that he can kick the lion, it will go far behind. Because the elephant is 10 times bigger than the lion. Yes, it is attitude. And I would like to say that if you build or if you believe that you are the king of your kingdom, you must be succeed. Okay? Why I am saying that? Okay, now we are the students of Hamdard University, Bangladesh. The fact is, we think that we are not a public university students, we are not a world-renowned university students. What will be to us? Yes, this is the fact. If you can think that you can do it, yes, you must or you must can do it. It doesn't even matter about your size, about your color, about your social status. It's just about belief. Okay? Now it's time to again go to our lecture. Writers and their contribution or many words in Victorian period. There are several numbers of writers in Victorian period, but the fact is, it is impossible to explain all the writers. I have just chosen 7 writers before you, but in very brief, you must have to search it. You must have to search it. The very first one is Matthew Arnold. The lifespan of Matthew Arnold is 1852 to 1880. It is very important because it indicates that he is the Victorian writer. Okay, then he is a poet and critic. Okay, now the question is, what is critic? Good. Or criticize or try to find out the faults. Actually, not criticize. Try to find out the faults which is seems criticizing. Then, known for his strong moral voice. That means in his writing we will find moral voice. Then, his major work as in criticism, which was published in 1888, and Culture and Anarchy, which was published in 1867. Now it's time to have a look on Charles Dickens, the lifespan of Charles Dickens is 1812 to 1870, and his English novelist and critic. Yes. We find that social criticism was one of the major features of Victorian literature, and we also find that in previous, who was the previous author? I just said, who was the previous author? He was also a critic, and in this part we find that Charles Dickens, he is also a critic. We know that most of the writers cannot enjoy his name and fame during his lifetime. But the fact is, Charles Dickens can or could enjoy name and fame during his lifetime, and it is actually a lot. Fortunately, we can say. Many works of Charles Dickens are Oliver Twist, are tailored to series great expectations. All of these are a part of your course. You will find Charles Dickens and all are included in your syllabus. You will find in the upper semester. Stuart Mill, okay, he is an English philosopher and politician. Okay, here we find that a politician and also a philosopher and also a writer. And his major works are on liberty, the subjugation of women. The women. The women were in leading power in the time because the attitude to women was totally changed. On the time we find Charlotte Bronte, Emily Bronte, George Eliot. Okay? George Eliot. George Eliot is a female character, but if we hear the name, it seems it's a male character. Okay? On the time, it was not totally changed, but women can write on the time. They used sometimes their pseudonym, and her real name is Mary Ann Evans. It is her pseudonym. Okay? Here we find Charlotte Bronte, Jane Eyre, Emily Bronte, Wuthering Heights, George Eliot, the Maid of the False, Romola. Okay? Here, this one is your will be provided to you in your course. Then Thomas Hardy, he was a poet. That's all today's class. If you have any kinds of query, you can ask me without any kind of confusion. Is there anything to know? But my suggestion is have a look. I will provide my lecture sheet. Who is the here? Okay, thank you. This is the lecture sheet. Please provide to all of them. And have a look on the lecture sheet and try to find out. Here is very brief lecture. Please try to find out the broad explanation, and I hope that you will be benefited. Okay? That's all about my class. Okay. Thank you everyone.